myself something to do because I'm retired. I'm a retired chief, so Navy Chiefs. My wife told me to get a hobby. It's my hobby. So
All right. Chess is great, great, great. Hi, Trish. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you, Glenn. I
Good talking
appreciate
to
it.
you this morning. We get to talk again
Yes.
tonight.
Yes.
Tell us about
Twice
yourself.
in one day.
Yes.
So Trish Alger, uh, I'm a veteran spouse. My husband was in the Navy as well. And I work with Help Heal Veterans, the Cahill Center in Temple. We continue to offer therapeutic craft kits at no charge and classes, all different types of things. But since we're in the business of healing through the arts, it was a natural for us to eventually run into AVAFEST and Glenn and his whole crew. So this is going to be our third year of supporting AVAFEST. So we're looking to see how it looks. It might look a little different, but we're still going to be supporting with our craft kits and do what we can, because seriously, our veterans were so I don't even know what the right word is, because some were moved, some were just in awe of the attention they got last year with our art show and everything. That all I kept hearing from everyone was how they just said it knocked it out of the park. They were just overwhelmed with how awesome it was. So
little
yes.
feedback. That was awesome show.
Oh, well, thanks.
I shot it, and so
Thank you.
everyone will get a chance to see just how awesome it was, especially that exhibit. Oh my goodness, that exhibit, you guys just really outdid yourselves. It was fantastic. So thank you so much for what you do. Now, so you guys, some of you have been with us before, know that this is the first time that we have started this early since you've been a part of us. We're starting in January for a reason, because I want to make sure that we that we're not overwhelmed in our planning, and that we're able to get the audiences to our events. In 2019, and I've got the paperwork for it, we did the very first citywide AVAFest, and there were more than 11,000 people, and those were the people that that went to the cultural centers. Oh, there's Jason, he made it in. That went to the cultural centers. We had just so many things that year, and 11,000 was a good start. We got preempted though. Hi, Jason, how you doing? Jason?
Yes, I can see it.
Adjust
Finally!
There you go. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's Jason Morrell. Jason, tell us a little bit about yourself. I'll pull your camera. We're getting your camera so we can see you. We just see the.
This is the first time I've ever done this, so.
Okay, you're doing great.
I am not computer savvy. Okay, I'm going in my kitchen. Just give me a second.
So we were laughing a little bit because I kind of had a little joke on you. I said, that's our magician. He doesn't have enough magic to get online. But looked like I was wrong. Here you are.
I graduated Coventry High School in 1994. Enlisted shortly after high school. The Army spent my GI Bill to send me to study at the Academy of Magical Arts for 6 months, and I'm the only veteran left alive of 6 in U.S. history to actually graduate from the Academy of Magical Arts. Cardini was a British soldier in World War II that while he was getting mortared and shot at with mortars and rockets in that battle, he was doing card tricks. And I'm with Glenn's help. Hopefully, we can raise the money to have a national touring comedy magic show for PTSD. Every single person that I talk to known to mankind knows that it will work, but Uncle Sam don't see it that way.
Well, it's us. It's we are the people, the AVAFEST people. We are the ones that have the vision. We carry the vision, and every year, even though it seems like, for me anyway, against impossible odds, because many times we started the year with not zero, but close to zero in our bank account, and somehow we always make it happen. And so last year, you had asked me to help to get you here to do magic, and I didn't have the wherewithal. I didn't have the people. I didn't even have really a good plan. So that's why I asked you to come this year, because I want to have you in from the very beginning. And we want you to come here and do magic for the veterans in our hospitals out here and do a show. So we're going to try to work to make that happen. So
I just lost you. Oh shit! No! Oh, damn it. How the hell do I?
we see you.
Oh, I'm glad you see me.
So just try to hang in there a second. I want to go through this plan. Did everybody get the agenda for tonight?
Okay, good. Good.
All right.
Yes,
So
I did.
we're going to run through our meeting agenda real quick, and then we can share more stuff about each other, because I know some of us especially have been working all day. I just came off the grind the last 4 days working to do a grant for us, and it was a heavy lift for me because it's a substantial grant and there was a lot to be done. So, but we got it done. We got it in a few hours before the time was up, and so say a prayer for us that we get what we want. Oh, here's Sevakunzi. Let me let him in. Hold on 1 second. Then, speaking of Grant, this young man that's about to come on, Sevakunzi. Hello, sir. How you doing? Can you hear me? There you are. How you doing, Sevakunzi?
Hey, how are you, everyone? Sorry I'm late.
I was just talking about our toil and trouble thing that we went through on the grant, getting it done, And this guy here, I have to say a lot, just say a few words for you, Sevakunzi. He was tough. He hung in there. If it would have been like tag team wrestlers, we would have had it. We would have won because we were tag teaming each other back and forth, and we got through it. Thank you, Sevakunzi, because just to have that kind of comradeship and was great to have. So here we are. You're just in time. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Sevakunzi.
Oh gosh, that's on the spot. Hi, everyone. I'm a supporter, ally. Love what you guys are doing. Definitely a part of AVAFEST. It's been a pleasure to work with, coming from London and just understanding and listening. I think that's where my motivation is. I think the thing that, and I'm not going to be too long, the thing that I am really empowered to share is the veteran suicide, military existing, and people that are families. It affects everyone. And the one thing that I can say is, Glenn said something to me about the law, that if someone commits suicide, how it impacts the health insurance. And that, to me, excuse my language, but was frigging amazing. That the fact that you can fight for a country, have PTSD, and be affected by war and defend your country, but if you come back and have mental health issues, you can forego insurance. And the statistics are staggering. War is staggering. What we see happening in Hamas and Israel is and being here. But I think that what we're doing in terms of support and AVAFEST and art, I really want to be an advocate in some form or fashion, just to help. And if I start from there, then everything else will flow. So that's me.
Okay, that's great. Thank you, Sevakunzi. So we're going to go ahead and dive into this meeting. First of all, I want to really thank you again, Jesus, for coming, because it's really important for us to have that connection with the city, and for the city to be a part of what we're doing, and for the city to know these individuals, these people. Everyone that's here right now is a volunteer. You know, we have no money to pay them, but they're doing their, you know, their due diligence. So that's very important. I just wanted you to know that. So the very first thing on our agenda is the reintroduction for this year's AVAFEST staff and personnel, which we just did. There's more of us. A few of us couldn't be here. For instance, Strick, who does the disc golf, he couldn't be here. He's in Miami doing some business meetings there, but he told me to tell everybody hi and that he's still with us. Troy Dunson, who is our golf person who does the golf tournaments, he couldn't be here either, but Troy said to tell everyone hello. He's dealing with some other business. And Marcus Hobbs just sent me a text a few minutes ago, and he said he's in some business that he just can't get out of. We know he's got his own company, but he lamented the fact that he couldn't be here, but he wanted us to know that he's with us in spirit tonight. So the reason why we're starting so early this year, I'm gonna get back to that, and I'm gonna send everybody this copy of this report that we have. When we did this started in January of 2019, we started early. AVAFest was so well organized, and there was so less pressure on everyone and the audiences. Because we started so early, we were able to do so many other things that we served just that year alone, just for that AVAFest, 11,000 people, almost 12,000 people came to our events. I've got the breakdown and I'll send it to you. They were all counted. That's not even counting the city. We were working with another organization called Art Sparks at the time, and they meticulously counted everything that they did, and the city was booming. Everything was happening well. So I thought this year, what we'll do is we're going to go back. We got hit by COVID. We lost our stride. We had to kind of reinvent ourselves, or we would not have been there. So we got a channel. We could only do so much show not to infect or reinfect people. It just really affected a lot of what we're doing, but every year we've done it. And now for the first year, I started feeling like, okay, we're coming out of this COVID thing enough that maybe we can get back to try to do what we did in 2019 and start earlier. So we've introduced ourselves. One of the keys that we had that year was fundraising. As I told you, Sebakunzi and I, we just got through putting together the Creative Forces. It's called the NEA Creative Forces grant. And I'm hopeful that we get it. It's a $50,000 a year grant for 5 years. I know that's not a lot of money, but that's a great start. It's a great start. Our first fundraiser that we have coming up is called I Live Here, I Give Here. It's a fundraiser that allows us to have everybody to sign on to the website, become an agent of the event, and send out asking people to support. So I'm going to be asking you as we move forward. Usually I've been doing it almost by myself, and I've been able to raise last year we raised nearly $7,000. There's matching grants there. Some of it wasn't all that we raised, but there are, because I'm an African American and I lead the organization, there's a matching grant, and we were able to get some of those, and that brought our money up. So I Live Here, I Give Here starts on January, the early starts on January the 24th. And I'm going to ask you if you have the bandwidth, if you have the time to join us. You don't have to work every day. If you put in what I discovered, if you put in an hour, 2-3 hours a week, we'll get results. And it's just, asking people to donate to us. telling them that you're a part of the organization, and we'll,
Glenn, I had a question.
yes.
I didn't mean to cut you off. I
Okay.
do apologize. This is not, this is to everybody here at the meeting. If it's okay with Glenn for me to say it, um, the magic part, not to really bring that up, but I have an ad that all of you can, it's online, gofundme.com. It's called, if you click on the search box, it's called Magic for PTSD. Those funds are, it's a fairly large amount of money that I'm asking for, but Glenn will tell you that these tricks, they're not cheap, and I'm not the ordinary magician. I got people that are the builders of these tricks, the stuff that you see performed in Las Vegas, making a tank appear out of nowhere or flying on stage, the really, really big stuff. I'm capable to do all of that, but the tricks won't pay for themselves. And if I wanted to thank Glenn for allowing me to make that statement. So if you guys want to spread the word throughout the country, the more funding, the more tricks, the more merrier.
That sounds great. And I put it in the chat, Magic for PTSD, and we'll get more information. Send me the link and we'll share that with our people, okay? All right, so let's see, I'm trying to think, where was I on that? Oh yeah, so I live here, I give here. The monies that we raise for that, we use in our events, we use to, you know, for practical purposes for many of the things that we need to do. One of the big things when we get this money early is we can earmark it and we can say, okay, we're going to set aside this much for advertising early. We're going to set aside this much to create more fundraising. The reason why we have this planning committee, and I know I'm doing an awful lot of talking right now, but as we go, we'll probably start off by having at least one meeting every 3 weeks or so. Come back with your ideas, come back with your energy, and this shouldn't be just Glenn talking, but you know, it's the energy. When we get energized and we get creative in our minds, it should be us sharing and talking about what we can do to make this happen. But we have to concentrate on certain things. So fundraising is essential. So so if you look in the email that I sent you, I live here, I give here. I'm going to send everybody a link to be able to come in there and set up. And like I said, 2 hours a week, you'd be amazing. You do 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there, 30 minutes there, 30 minutes, and it amounts to 2 hours, but you'll be amazing with all of us doing it, because if 10 people are doing 2 hours a week, that's 20 hours. It just kind of adds up that way. So, so that's that. News of, I told you guys about the grant that we just did. I'll share it with you if you'd like to see it. We got some great letters. We got a great letter from TVC. We got a great letter from, a really great letter from the Austin Department of Recreation, Cultural Affairs and Museums. They gave us a really great letter. And then we got letters from people that are involved with us that are really fantastic. So I'm very hopeful. Now, this meeting is really for us to discuss, and what we'll be doing here is we will be the brains for what AVAFEST 2024 will look like. And so one of the things that can be daunting for us when we think about it, AVAFEST, we're using the arts to yield veterans and military personnel and their families. And art entails anything, basically, that attracts the mind and gives you pleasure in doing, like comedy, like magic, like singing and acting, like painting, drawing, any of those things. So it can be really out there, a lot of things, but we need to be able to pull it in and organize it. So I want to throw this this discussion open, and just for us at this point right here to talk about. Some of you have already been a part of AVAFEST, what your vision of AVAFEST may be. And I'm going to start, I'll start with Michael. And it might be just your own show, but remember, we cross-pollinate with each other. In other words, when I say cross-pollinate, what another person is doing, we can assist by maybe adding some of what we do to what they do, or just being there for them. Okay? Michael?
Hi, yeah, I'm pretty much looking at doing the same thing we did last year, with the exception of, the resource fair. That took a lot of our effort, and pretty much I had to divide and conquer on that stuff. I do think that's an important component because we got a lot more people coming in. It's you know, it brought a lot more focus, if you will, on the issues at hand, and what AVAFEST is doing. What I do need, Glenn, from you, if you send me an email, I don't have my phone right now, but if you can send me Mark Hobbs. I've sent her, I made the certificate in November last year. I'll have an address to send it to.
Okay.
Trish, if you can help me out, I got one, get into the zone. I looked for them, I couldn't find them, so if you can throw me their address too. Oh, and Trish, we're doing the cricket class tomorrow with somebody's coming over. And I'll make sure that, you know, if any of that helps your endeavors over there, that'll push that. But mainly, the only thing I was kind of just rolling with last year is, well, there's two things. First of all, it seemed like there was no, what do you call it? You know, normally you have a festival and it's got like different events and stuff. It's on one document. Last year we had several flyers for individual stuff, but it didn't take on really what AVAFEST is about, and show everybody that there's different stuff going on. Model building, dancing, singing, golf, disc golf, veteran art. I mean, there wasn't one spot for
Right.
that.
Okay.
The other thing was, I went over to Fort Cavaros, or where the hell they say that, Fort Hood, and
Oh,
basically the commanding general, the USO, the MWR, none of those people knew anything about AVAFEST. So that's because I talked to the wrong person. But I'm saying, but nobody honchoed it up. It wasn't in the base paper. It wasn't. I mean, I say AVAFEST and people like, huh? So you know, you got the largest military base on the planet is right here, and they didn't know about it. You know, so
91st Engineer Battalion,
that's
1st
a
Cav
little
Division, Fort Hood, Texas.
Say again.
91st Engineer Battalion, 1st Cav Division, Fort Hood, Texas.
Right. And like it's the sixth most clean. It's got number 6 and 7 most populous veteran zip codes in the entire country.
Okay.
Think about that. I mean, that's a huge amount of people. So
Michael, you were able to talk to the general, and
yeah,
we just outlined in person.
I'm not gonna hotch all that up. I got way too much stuff on plate.
No. I'm not asking you for that, but you do have an inroad to be able to.
Yeah. I'll drop some names and stuff, but yeah, I mean, coming up with these guys is great when you get action, but it's like pulling freaking teeth. But what I can say that's got a lot of
I
traction
know that.
is all these guys got bosses and they're called wives, right? So if you go to Facebook and go to the wives stuff, the wives, trust me, the wives make shit happen. So you know, and Trish is shaking her head. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, Trish.
Yeah,
It's like, yeah, don't necessarily go talk to the command general. Go talk to his wife. That's who. If you really want some shit done, that's how you get it done.
Last year, year before last, we had the Combat Warriors exhibit at the old bakery.
Right.
And when I met the general, I asked him, I told him what we were doing, that we were doing that exhibit, and his wife was with him. And his wife said, yeah, we're doing it.
Yeah.
I
So hey, you know, my wife said, he says, yeah, my husband's a Navy chief, but I'm the admiral. You know, pretty much that was it. So she's definitely the boss for our household. Yeah.
Right.
But you know what's really nice? She lets me think I'm the boss sometimes.
How it works,
I
Mike.
know better.
It's golden. So one thing I'd like to say to everybody in the group, and this is how we work and coordinate together. If you know a person that we might be able to bring in that will be our military liaison that can take that on, is very important part of what we're doing, then please talk to them first, ask them if they'd be interested, and if they are, you know, send them my way. Okay, or invite them to come to a meeting, or let me know and I'll include them. Or even you can include them. You can give them the link to our meeting too, and just say that you invited them. But that's a very good point. And we do need, I noticed too that you had military participation in chess vets. That was a very well done event. It's going to show well on video that we shot. And so thank you so much. That was a great point. Chris?
Yeah, from the outside looking in, it looked very decentralized. So in my head, I still can't imagine a festival that spans roughly 30 days. I think that I would like to see it a bit more condensed, like a 4-day festival or a 3-day festival, something that we can really if I wanted to take 4 days off and go be a part of this thing and give it all 100% of my effort that I could, but I cannot possibly look at things that are spanning over 30 days. Like, it's impossible for me to even think about anything other than my own thing. So like I had my one weekend that I was focusing on, and that was 100% of my effort. If you had something that was condensed, and maybe it was a 3 or 4 day event that all of us could focus on, put all of our energy into, we could have one hell of a blowout weekend, as opposed to trying to manage the logistics and keep our focus for 30 days going in so many different directions.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I struggled with that, but one of the things that I saw is we have so many events going on that you force veterans into, or the participants into saying, well, I'm going to do this, which is going to rule that out. Maybe 30 days is not the answer. Maybe that's too long of a stretch, but I don't think 4 days is either. But I mean, I'm just one guy in this conversation. That's possible.
And I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer in any way. It just see like 100%. Like,
don't stress, brother. Don't stress.
Yeah, I stopped keeping track of. I stopped keeping track of a lot of people's stuff because I knew that I could not contribute any effort to it. All I could do is really focus on the 2 events that I was going to show up at, and I could only show up at those because I can't run all. I guess it's different for me because I live in San Angelo. I can't make the trip multiple times. So I think that I was really, as far as my effort and my ability to be involved in anything or contribute to anybody's cause, it was only in the one trip I was going to make.
Okay, so right now we're scheduled from October 11th to November the 12th. And if that's something that we want to really discuss and look at, we can. But it's been my experience going through that we don't do something every day, but it allows for us, you know, in the space of time for people, if they want to, if they decide, well, I want to try disc golf, but it's getting in the way of the dance thing that I would like to be a part of. It kind of spreads it out a little bit and allows people um, to to have the space to be able to say that they want to do something. The other thing is something that you pointed out too, that you were basically concentrated on what your particular aspect of AVAFEST was. And one of the reasons why I kind of tried to lay it out that way is so that people can concentrate specifically on what they're doing, but still allow for other things to be happening. And then if you find that you have some time within what you're doing, you can either cross-pollinate with someone doing something else, or you can assist them in their thing if it's like getting overmanaged. But I do see what you're saying, and you're not the first person to bring that up. When I first went to the city council and asked them for support, they were like 30 days. But guess what? The best festival we ever had was 31 days.
All right.
And it was exciting. I mean, it was happening all over the place. But
And now you can add magic.
yeah.
Yeah, you're probably now beyond that. I think that in a very selfish bid, I will say I'll do anything I can do to get back down to tempo with Trish.
Okay. That was a great event. Yeah. All right. So for you guys, we did do Kalahari this year. Kalahari got rained out that particular night. It wasn't what we wanted it to be, but we did have the event and committed it to video. So we learned, what I learned from that experience was we have another concert. It's going to be early. A big concert like that is not going to be in November. It's going to be in October. It's going to be maybe like an opening day concert or something like that, where we're not taking the risk of a less of a risk of inclement weather. So that's what I took from that.
Can I add something, Glenn?
Yes.
I wasn't trying to take all your time or anything like that.
Okay.
This is to everybody. My email address, there's a reason why I want to do this, so that way you guys have an idea of what the magic part is. My email address is my name, 1975 at hotmail.com. JASONMOREL 1975 at hotmail.com. If you guys email me, I will update links to pictures of celebrity magicians that are trying to help us. But it's a good thing that we've got all this time to work with it. I've showed Glenn several videos, and some of the stuff that we have to work with, that I'm able to work with, it would blow your mind. But we're gonna have a starting point. Didn't mean to cut you off, Glenn.
No, it's okay. I'm really excited about the magic, and I'm really hopeful that we can really, bring some magic here to Austin. Ever since I met you and I saw and read about what you do and kind of saw some of your videos of you doing it and saw the expression on those veterans' faces, I'm like, this is something that if we can do it, I would love to be able to bring to AVAFEST and this and what we're doing. Now, making a tank disappear might take a while for us to be able to get to that, but I know that it can be done, and it's an awesome piece of magic. But so let's move on. Let me move on to Franklin. Hello, sir.
How you doing?
Oh, fine. And you, sir?
Just listening to everybody's comments, I think they've got some good ideas,
Fantastic.
good points that were made. I share a lot of those.
Okay.
And I also think that the information that was out there was probably not enough. And I don't know exactly what went wrong, or if we can use that word. I don't think anything went wrong. I just think that we just didn't get it out there. But anyway, going forward, we need to address that. And I believe that you got some ideas to correct those things. And I think there was some comments made in that direction as well. So I'm looking forward to a year that's going to be a little bit more attentive, a little bit more participation. I have some ideas for the art end of it to include more veterans and their work, and maybe do a show where we can invite them to set up their shops and sell their work along with along with my barrial portraits, and just make it a find another venue, because my venue that I have today is a 4-hour venue. So I'm doing it for 4 hours because that's what the proprietor of the place allows me, and that's the only place I have. So maybe moving forward, we can find another location, invite veterans to bring their art and their arts and crafts and things like that, and set up their tents and maybe do a day and a half or a whole day, a whole Saturday, and let them see what happens and get the word out and get those veterans out there. So yeah, we have, there's ideas out there that we can work on, and I'm looking forward to working on some of that.
Fantastic. Well, I think already that's a great idea that you have, and looking forward to us really, helping you with that and getting it started. I'm a painter myself, so that's really particularly dear to my heart.
Well, you would have the first tent, the very first one at the front.
You're spoiling me, Frank. The first tent belongs to you. I'm sorry. I gotta give it to the master, man. To come and find some more time to sit at your feet and learn some of what you do, because you truly are a master artist, and I appreciate you for that. I do. So Sebakunzi, what are your observations of things that you think we need to work on? I'm saving you, Jesus, on purpose for near the last. Okay.
That's okay.
All right. I can't hear you.
Neither can I.
He's
I'm
muted.
sorry, mute button was on. I don't think there's any thing, social media, website, and everything else. I think we're all at a place where we understand it's video, words, and images. And it's like McDonald's, isn't it? They tell you, I'm loving it, I'm loving it, I'm loving it. And you look up and you're like, you know what? I'm loving it. You see the arches, and then you're like, you know what? The kids are going crazy in the back. I'm driving. McDonald's is easy to go to. And I think I want to market what we're doing as McDonald's. I think that when people see AVAFEST and they see art, if we move away from the negativity of what we're doing, of suicide prevention and AVAFEST and what it entails, if we get families engaged, it's almost like somebody going through addiction or going through a tough time. If you give them something positive to focus on, they will embrace it. And I think that if all of us posted at 10 o'clock and it just lit up the algorithms the way these social media things work, that's where we're at in a concentrated effort. I'm very big on the way that suicide prevention affects everybody across racial lines. We're in a very divisive state, but it's like the one thing that I know about America, and I love.
Okay, you froze. Oh, good.
And so I think we should have a concentrated effort on what we're doing now, is when we post something, everybody post together and let's stand linked arm in arm and let's post and just get people aware. Because if AVAFEST is going to be in October, let's get everybody engaged by April.
So guys, Sebakunzi is also going to be spearheading our advertisement effort, our marketing effort of the event. And he's a fantastic website designer and builder. If you've seen our website, This is the gentleman who went and totally revamped it from what it had been. So I think with having someone like Sebakunzi in that place, that we're going to start to be able to reach many more people. And that's the key really to success. When word of mouth, there's nothing more powerful than when you get people talking about it. You're right.
I need someone's help with my website.
Well,
Can I also just say this for everyone on this call? Please, when you go through Glenn and get my details, tell me what you think from your perspective. The one thing I am open is into listening, and there may be a message or a word that you say that I can actually put out there that speaks to how you feel or what needs to be said. I'm great at marketing and I love what I do, but
Believe in the impossible.
yes, just tell me exactly what you think people need to hear, and images of you with families and how it's impacted you positively. I'd like more content rather than using stock images. I really want to get underneath, what people see from day-to-day lives and how we can help each other.
Send me an email.
From our people. Now, I want to say to you too, Jason, the email that I sent you to join this has everybody's email in it. So if you
I'm trying to find it.
okay, don't worry, I'll send it to you again.
Okay. No worries.
Everybody,
It's a pleasure to meet everybody, believe me. It's an honor for me.
okay, thank you. Now, Trish, our one of our stars here.
Stars, you're so funny. Sorry, I'm sitting in the dark. I have 9 people in my house and it's not quiet. So sorry, they're mostly kids. I had to come to my car to have some peace and quiet. So I've been listening to what everyone's been saying. Michael did have some points. The one thing I wanted to point out to him when he said that on Post, they didn't even know about AVAFEST. Well, AVAFEST pretty much was concentrated in Austin. So until recently, so I wouldn't have expected them to. I understand the part of it being a military installation, so they should know about it. But, you've got a grassroots thing here that you've been working on a shoestring budget. So I'm giving you a ton of grace there. Definitely a lot of word of mouth. I mean, Austin is a little more concentrated, so the word can get passed around a little bit better, especially through city and different governmental groups, nonprofits. I know Art Sparks. I know April was awesome on making a lot of things happen. So I wouldn't necessarily worry about it. I do think, yes, it's who you talk to and how word gets out there. By the way, I loved the website this last time. It was a joy to look at. So thank you. Because usually it just looked like, I know you were working with what you had, Glenn, but it was kind of a cut and paste thing. And so it was really nice to see things look a little more cohesive. It was really nice. Social media was my thing for a few years too. And algorithms and all those things. I mean, obviously you could go through school and, really have a handle on things. You've got the marketing, so I don't have to tell you anything. I have recognized, because I was thinking on our event, especially this last year, a lot of it was very successful. Having to change the date and having it on Veterans Day was not the best, especially weather-wise and everything else, the way it worked. I think we would rather do something earlier in the month as well. I looked at the calendar while we were talking. We've got 5 weekends because Veterans Day is actually on Monday. So you've got 5 weekends there. I'd like to take one. But for us to get the word out, because we got, my gosh, I can't tell you how many places I sent, a press release. I did a ton of interviews, blah, blah, all the stuff. But it comes down to us in-house, even though we had paper, posters. We were handing them out everywhere we went. Every time we were on a Zoom call meeting, we were telling everyone, on and on and on. Someone gave me a hint. Actually, it was J.W. Riza, the musician we had. He used to be commander of, I think it was a Legion. And he said, I'm going to give you some feedback and do it what you want with it. He said, you can't do anything at night. He said, because your audience is usually older demographic. And once they've left and gone out for the day, they go home, they don't want to go back out. And I said, okay. He said, you really need to kind of hit that sweet spot of, noon to like 4, and then you're done. So I was like, okay. So I'm really trying to listen to those kinds of things. But on our end, for getting the word out, we realized we were so pushing to get things done at the end, we neglected our own social media, our own Facebook page. And if we had set things up in advance, to go out for us, don't forget it's tomorrow. Don't forget it's today. All those things that's what it is. When you have those things, those reminders constantly coming across, that's when you're getting people's attention. And I don't know about you, but a lot of people will take the time and, or won't take the time to plan what they're going to do for the weekend, other than, I wonder what's out there, what's going on. So you want to be one of the big options, right? Not just saying this is whole events happening for a month, but this weekend, this is what's going on. Isn't it in the paper? They always used to have, I don't know if they still do it, but they used to do it on like Thursdays. They have a lineup of things for the weekend going on. And I think you almost have to have a page in your website that kind of does that for each weekend. This is what's going on for the weekend for AVAFEST everywhere. And then you could put it up again, or you could, just ideas, because obviously this is not my job, but I would like to have a way to link to that page, put it on our Facebook, send it across all our social media. So it's like, hey, this weekend, AVAFest still going on, people. Do you want to, this is the lineup, because then you can pick and choose. Maybe they're going to be in Austin already that weekend, so they want to go see something in Austin. Maybe they're up here in Temple and something's happening in Temple or wherever. I think our art show was very successful. We kind of, you encouraged us to expand into, comedy, into music. The comedians were awesome. Thank you, Chris. You guys did an awesome job. I got a lot of really great feedback on that too. I hated the fact I didn't have a big enough audience for all of you. That's the only thing that hurt, because I felt, when you're a performer, you want a good audience, and we did, but it was just a little spotty. I don't think I want to use the same venue this year. I kind of shopping around, because CAC is good for art exhibits, and they had a decent stage, but where it's located north of town, it's just a little, I don't know. Those are kind of some of the things I'm really thinking. I will say that we have looked at being closer to Post. They have a new museum they put right outside the gate, the Mounted Warrior Museum. And I'm going to go in and have a talk with the director there and just kind of discuss what you're going to do with your space. Are you going to have room for an exhibit, or is there something we can do in there? I think that'd be kind of cool to maybe help them, because they're just now getting started. They're just now
Ooh,
opening,
go back to
so.
Fort Hood.
Right. Oh yeah, can't say, we all still say Fort Hood, even though, Fort Cavazos, Fort Cav, I've even heard is one of the words.
Or Cav.
Yeah, Fort Cav. I thought that was kind of funny. But I also want to help with the fundraising. We usually can fundraise our own stuff for us. That's great. But I want to help you fundraise. And yes, anything we get in advance is always helpful. Anything we can push out on our Facebook page and tell others is always helpful. Gosh, I don't know. I'm trying to think of all the things that are, I like to go to those website pages when you pull it up, and then, so, like you've got even like a picture, here's golf, here's disc golf, here's comedians, here's whatever. And then I can click on it and go to like a little short little video or something, or goes to YouTube, and it just kind of shows me a little of what's going on. Because I'm I'm like everybody else with shopping, 5 seconds or less. It's terrible. I've gotten really bad, just like everyone else. And
I'm pretty sure
obviously,
you and
Pardon,
Sebastian
I'm sorry.
can get together on the fundraising, because that's not a one-person job. And we need a
oh, no,
campaign.
no.
You know, we need
Yes.
we need something thought out that we all can buy into and say, okay, so this is my action in this. And going back to what I said, 30 minutes a day, or 2 hours a week, but if you
Len, this means so much to me that Santander Bank, who I bank with, I don't know about if everybody else does, but I'm going to set aside $25 a month to donate to AVAFEST, and not including my own fundraiser for the props. That's what this means to me, but this stuff is going to cost money, and you can't get blood from a stone.
Yeah, we got to crawl
That's
before
true.
we walk, but we're going to get, you're definitely in the crosshairs of getting you out here. So don't ever think that I'm not thinking about that. We need
no.
the magic,
I wanted to show everybody, if everybody is interested, I didn't mean to cut you off half sentence, what some of this stuff looks like that I already have. If you guys are interested, if not, I won't take it personally.
We are interested, but I need to move the meeting on.
Oh, not a problem. Go ahead. Go ahead.
But we'll get to that. If not tonight, we'll get to it soon. And plus, you have everybody's email addresses. So I want to, okay, Trish, thank you so much. I wanted
Thanks.
to talk to Jesus. Jesus, I wanted to kind of share with you part of my joy for you sending me a message from our website, Sebakunzi. Mr. Cementel, I'll just say Jesus, went to our website, and I'm sure he was impressed with what he saw there. He sent me a message, and this is starting our relationship together. I want to kind of give you a little history of some of the things that have been missing from AVAFEST, and that I tried to get from the city. And I don't know if what your powers are, what kind of strings you can pull, or even if you will, but I wanted to share that with you. One of the things that I often wanted to have, even though AVAFEST has spread out now, it's in Austin, but then it's spread out into Round Rock, where I live. It was in Cedar Park 2 years ago, and they're talking about bringing it back there. It was in Belton, it's in Temple, and that's about as far as it is spread out, but it's in all of those places. But the real place that I wanted, like I went to the city, I didn't know who to talk to, but every time they do a festival or something like that, they have these street light things that hang on the street light that announce that a festival is going on. They're colorful,
Yeah.
usually down Congress Boulevard, and
Those banners, whatever that they hang on there.
those banners. And I was trying to get some of those. I wanted them to be on Colorado Boulevard and maybe another adjacent street running along where the Capitol is, but I couldn't get any bandwidth there. And that's what that's what announces, not only does it announce that the festival is happening, but it also announces that the city is fully behind it. I mean, we've gotten a proclamation and stuff like that, but that's when we would really have arrived. Yes, Sebakunzi?
What I was going to say was, I think one of the things that I most admire about when I'm on these calls and you guys are talking to each other, and I'd be happy to do this. If I say something here, and Glenn knows I can attest to it, if I commit, I commit. I'd like to have a database where everybody dump in their contacts or people that they select or take the time out. The only due diligence or time is going through our 5,000, 1,000, and all the contacts we have on these devices. And let's split them up into who we know that's in politics, who's a veteran, who was in my company or my platoon. And just a note, nothing personal. And to Trish's point, and someone may have said it, and then we send out these emails, like KUT does it all the time. If you listen to NPR, they're always advertising for money. and on social media. And if we do a concentrated effort at 10, it's like the movies. They tell you, oh, it's $1 million movie. It opened the biggest this month. Everyone's like, oh, great, so-and-so's in it, and they gravitate towards something that's popular. So if we harness the power of social media and get, like I know Natasha Harper Madison, District 1, she donated to some of the art and stuff. So if there are people in politics, trust me, it's frowned upon to neglect veterans. And I want to pull people's guilt, because you can't appeal to them. They only know what they're doing when they see the good that we do, when they see the pictures of painting, when they see the fun at the Kalahari. Then people are like, oh, I should have been. So let's get in front of it. And if we create a database that is willing to be shared, and we press a button and it goes out, if we get 100 people in one day, it will turn into 1,000, because it will be on their algorithm and everything else. And it's sales. Fundraising is sales. If 1,000 people donate $10, that's 10,000. If 10,000 donate $2, it's 2,000. And I think we've got enough people. Working with Mark Hobbs was amazing, because as a child, I like to play with Lego and action figures and G.I. Joe. Let's tap into people that are that want to support from an altruistic rather than solicit them, because there's enough of us. And I think, to Tricia's point, if we do a concentrated effort of, Glenn knows a lot of people, Jesus knows a lot of people, Frank knows a lot of people, Kristen knows a lot of people, Trish knows a lot of people, I know a lot of people as someone from London. If we send out an email and a newsletter, then we're going to get people that will share, and it's on social media. And I'd like to work with you guys to be a funnel to give it to Glenn. Give me the email, and I don't mind, even if it's up to 500, I probably will need more bandwidth after 500, but I can put the name, the email, their social media, and you guys will know it's gone out, and then you guys won't have to do anything. And there are programs that will automate it, and we can do it once a week. So we don't have to wait till October, but every month there's a newsletter that supports the website that gets people to see what we're doing, and that way they can see it.
So you said like centralize it through you?
Yeah, centralize it, and through the website and through you, Glenn. If there's an email, I will take that on board because it's something easy I can do quickly within 24 hours. And I don't say that, arrogantly. I say that because technology has allowed us to have 500 emails and be able to send them out and say, hey, AVAFEST is coming in November. Listen, in October, don't wait, because we've got this art festival, we've got this thing. Suicide prevention happens year round. We're doing this big thing in AVAFEST, and then that way every month, so we'll have 10 months of January, February, March, April, May, until then, where people, yeah.
All right, that's great. Thank you. Now I appreciate that energy. That's so great. It's positive. Let me get back to talking to Jesus, because Jesus is in a very good position to really help us because we are the Austin Veterans Arts Festival, although we are spreading out. And we are totally committed to saving veterans' lives, but we don't have what we don't have right now. We had it when Steve Adler was there. Steve Adler was as the mayor. Steve, he went to battle for us a couple of times, and got us some good things. And I'm hopeful with our relationship with you and your position that you can kind of be that liaison for the veterans and for the AVAFEST, what we're doing, and for the city of Austin, that you can let them know what kind of work is going on here, and that you can, reach some of the people that can, do some of the things to make this, give this a really festive environment. We need those street banners. That's a part of it. And I just wanted to go back and say, Chris, what you were saying, because someone said something. Yeah, it seems like it's 30 days, but really, we do most of our work primarily on the weekends. So when you
Right.
look at it that way, it's really only it's really only 8 days or 10 days at the most. Every now and then we might do something in the middle of the week. We're broadcasting though all the time. But to get back to that point, I'm hopeful that you leave this meeting, you know, I wanted to make sure that you understood this. I think really, you know, that goes at the heart of what we do. You know, having that kind of recognition not only feeds everything else. You know, it will feed it'll feed the funding. It'll feed the, you know, the most of the money that the city ever gave us was like $20,000. You know, so we've been existing really off of funds that the general public gives us, you know, and like I live here, I give here, that I was just talking up that we have to do. So I'm really I'm hopeful that your commitment is going to be towards helping us to really to getting the city to really appreciate what it is we're trying to do. I'll just share a story with you. When I first set up the Veteran Suicide Prevention Channel, the way I set it up was I went and I shot the interviews, little 5-6 minute interviews of veterans. And I asked them one question. I said, if a veteran came to you and said they were going to commit suicide, what would you say to them to talk them out of it? And I just turned on the camera and let it run, and they talk. I said, talk to the veteran. The camera is the veteran. And I did that, and when I wound up with about 16 of them, I decided to go to YouTube and create a channel. This is how the Veteran Suicide Prevention Channel was born, because YouTube said, you got to have a name. I said, well, if I call it the Veteran Suicide Prevention Channel, maybe somebody that's thinking about committing suicide will come to it and see it, right? So I named it the Veteran Suicide Prevention Channel, posted those 16 videos. That's all that was up there, just those 16 videos. And I knew Dan West, who is now the national adjutant of the VFW, but at the time he wasn't even a Texas adjutant yet. He became the Texas adjutant of the VFW, and then national stole him and took him away from us, you know, which I know he's probably doing great there. And then one day, this veteran left a message on one of the videos, still there. He said, this video saved my life. Excuse me. So I shared it with Dan, and Dan said, man, that's not what he said. You know how veterans talk. He basically said, damn, man, you got to do something with this. You know, you can't just have this. You got to create a nonprofit organization. And that's how we got started, from that 16 videos, one comment. And the next thing I know, he had me with John Spar. You know John?
No, do not.
John was the 2013 Texas State Commander of the VFW. And he put me with John, and John said, I'm gonna get with you and work with you a year. He said, all I'm gonna give you is a year. We're gonna start a nonprofit organization, and we're gonna give you permission to use the word veteran. Because, you know, a chartered VSO, you can't just start a nonprofit and use the word veteran in the title. A chartered VSO, congressionally chartered VSO, has to give you permission to do that.
Oh, well, didn't know that.
Yeah, that's how we became the Veteran Suicide Prevention Channel. You can't just go start.
You still have that video?
Huh?
You still have that video?
The video's online. It's still there.
On YouTube?
Yeah, I never took it down. You just go to the veteran. Just go to the Veteran Suicide Prevention Channel, and look for that on YouTube, and go there, and you'll see those There's many more videos there, but the original 16 are there. They're at the bottom. The original 16. So I'm just saying that to say that that's how this whole thing got started. It got started because I did that. I had the impetus to do that. This one veteran had the impetus to be very honest about what another veteran said to him, and that affected everybody. And how we got to of using the arts to heal for healing is because I became a national gold medalist of the VA Creative Arts competition from representing the state of California. And when
I am
went
in
there,
envy of you, Glenn. I am in envy of you.
when I went there, I had such a great time, but I kept thinking, shouldn't everybody be experiencing this? You know, why are these other veterans left at home? They should be experiencing this because it was a joy. It was, I had a great time. And so I didn't do anything about it then, but after AVAFEST got started in 2017, Temple came over and took over our creative arts project, and the people in Austin were very pissed because they had been in control of it. And so I said, don't be angry. You know what? We're going to start AVAFEST. There's not going to be any blue ribbons, no awards, no nothing. The award is that the prize is that you're doing art, whatever it is. And I went and I told the city council that, and that's how the mayor got behind us, the whole city council, and that's how we wound up doing 2019. So I want to try to get that spirit back again. I want people, when we say that we're the Austin Veterans Arts Festival, I want them to know that the city is totally 100% behind us, and that we are welcome. Because when you open it up like that, all of the veterans are going to come because all of them want to be appreciated and loved.
Definitely. I agree.
So I'm
Whatever I can do for you, Mr. Tari.
Thank you, Jesus.
You guys are doing good work. I mean, stuff like that is kind of a testament to, we do have, veteran suicide is a thing that we need to do something about it. Whatever we can do to help them, support them, and whatever I can do to help you, and I'll do.
Thank you, Jesus. We
Yeah.
welcome you, and we're glad. We're blessed to have you as a part of what we're doing here, this work that we're doing here. So thank you.
Well,
all right. So I just wanted to share that with you, and and also welcome you because you're a veteran like we are, and I know that we're all working together. Now I have someone else that came in. I need to say hello to Ashley. Hi, Ashley.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. Tell us a little about yourself, Ashley. What do you do?
Hi, guys. I do a little bit of everything, but I am the bookseller within Central Texas, hosting Word Unite Bookstore, which showcases independent authors. And so we are primarily on post at main exchange locations. We have 2 stores currently. And so book festivals, authors, book signings, creative writing is what we're all about.
Okay. And last year, Ashley, every year we get the Central Library. We have it again for 2024, and we do a health and wellness seminar there. It's usually an all-day event, and we all pitch in on that. We all bring something. We all cross-pollinate, and the book fair is there. And this year, and Ashley runs the book fair. She comes with hundreds of books, a lot of them, all veterans, all veteran authors. And they get a chance to show their books. And this year, we had a very special thing. We were part of the Texas Book Fair. and we'll be a part of it again next year. They invited us, they brought us in. It's one of the largest book fairs in America, a book festival. Is it a festival or a fair? Ashley?
That's a book festival in Austin.
It's a book festival. And so we'll be doing that again this year as well. So we'll be doing those two things. So thank you, Ashley. I know you're busy. Thank you for coming, being a part of this.
Yes, sir. Sorry I'm late. I just flew in, but yeah, I wanted to make sure I made it at least.
Thank you. So I'd like to end this with any questions or any comments that anyone would like to make.
When's the next meeting?
Okay. Next meeting will be because we have a fundraiser coming up. I got to get information. The next meeting will be in 2 weeks. And we'll be setting up for the I Live Here, I Give Here, Sabakunzi and Trish. I'll be talking to the both of you, trying to see if you can come up with a plan to coordinate that fundraising activity. And if there's nothing else, is there anything else?
Mr. Tar, something that Michael mentioned, I guess from the past on the, that was part of the AVAFEST was a resource fair. And then we could talk about this later on, but if we're talking about resources, nonprofits come in to do that. I mean, nothing says we can, if we want to get rid of it in the future, maybe somebody can take it over like me. We got more nonprofits in this city than per capita than any other city in the state. So there's a lot of resources out there for veterans, just veterans don't know about them. So if that's the kind of resources we're talking about,
it is.
I'm happy to take that over.
And we usually try to do that, coordinate that with the health and wellness seminar that we try to roll both of those into each other. And it's a large space that we have because it's a central library. They give us that whole bottom section down there.
Okay, yeah, I just did a host event at the Central Library, so I'm very familiar.
Okay,
there's some bigger forums, so maybe we can look at some other areas, some other places.
It's your event, and you build it the way that you want it. Okay, and if you want to do, some leading up to this event, those events would be good for getting out the fact that AVAFEST is coming. So the next meeting will be, I don't have a date, but let's say it's going to be 2 weeks from this Thursday. Mark your calendars. I'll send out an email. Thank each and every one of you for coming tonight. Remember, it's really important for you to communicate, Jason, like those emails I was telling you about, your ideas and things that you want to do. Communicate with people through those emails. We'll get together a contact sheet. This isn't all of us, and usually it's been my experience as AVAFEST is there, it begins to grow. Before we know it, these screens will get smaller and there'll be more people, okay? And we'll all be doing other things. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you. I feel good about where we're going. I think that this 2024 is going to be outstanding. It's going to be the best AVAFEST we've ever had. So God bless you all, and be on the lookout for your email. Anybody have anything else they want to add to this?
Does everybody like magic?
I love magic. You know that. So I remember when I was a kid, the first magic I saw, this guy turned a pencil into a coin. I've never forgotten it. Never forgot it. I don't know how you did it, but I never forgot it. Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Good night.
Take care.
Bye.
Thanks for having me to be a part of it. Thank you. Good night.